Okay, so just tell me what's your name and how long you've been married.
Um, Lawana Benjamin, and I have been married for technically married for 15 years.
Okay. What was your maiden name?
Work.
How did you meet your spouse?
Flesh. No, I'm just playing. Um, so I was walking to the store, um, and on my way to the store, he pulled up, and he was like, "Well, what's your name?" So I gave him the wrong name and the wrong phone number, and I continued to walk to the store. He came around the corner and pulled up at the store and came into the store. Um, and then no, I'm back to the back. I gave him my name. I didn't give him my number until I got to the store. And then when I got to the store, I gave him my real name, my real number.
Okay.
Um, and that's how I met him at the corner store.
Was marriage something you always wanted?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. It was just a childhood. I just wanted to be married. I wanted to be. Um, I wanted to get married. I don't know. I always dreamed about getting married. I wanted to have this big old fancy wedding. Ever since I was a little girl.
So, what are some challenges?
Um, I don't know how to put it. It's a lot of challenges. Employment, um, money. Well, I'm gonna say finances. Um, how can I say it? One of our biggest problems was it was lack of communication. Um, I think we was on two different pages.
So, do you solely believe in submission to your husband?
Um, at one time I did.
What changed your mind?
Um, I wasn't getting nothing in return.
So, when you guys are into it, how are issues resolved?
They not.
So, you always just got into it and never resolved any issue?
Nope.
Was there times that you wanted to give up?
Yeah,
What made you say,
because I love him. How she trying to make me cry? I'm not gonna do it. No, I stayed because I honestly I do love my husband and I still do. We've been together for 23 years, total,
mm-hmm.
and I think I invested a whole lot. And I know me and you joke about I worked hard for my last name,
Mm-hmm.
and I did. I put up with a whole lot. Him going out, I was more of a homebody, and he was more the type. He was the party type. So it was always times where he was just gone. And then still to this day, that's what he do. He a little bit more, he don't go out as much, but he still go out, and it's like, it's all the time. And I felt like I was put on the back burner because he was in the Montauk Club, because it was always some kind of function he had to go to, or he was scared he was going to miss out on something if he didn't go to this function, if he didn't go out of town to this function. So that was another one of our biggest problems. And I think I was more, back when I was submissive, I just kind of like brushed it off. Like, okay, well, he'll grow out of it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not necessarily change, but I think when people get older, they change automatically because you're getting older. Things that you used to do, you just don't find interesting no more. You don't want to do it as much, and you're supposed to put your family first. And I thought that's what was gonna happen.
Okay. So was there infidelity?
Yes.
How was it handled?
Um, well, we're not together no more.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna read something out of the New Living Translation, Matthew 18:21-22. Then Peter came to him and asked, Lord, how often should I forgive someone who sins against me? 7 times? No, not 7 times, Jesus replied, but 70 times 7. Do you agree?
Um, I don't know. I feel like I did that and it didn't work out in my best interest. Um, so now I'm all about me. So,
So, you probably answer this. Have you ever felt alone in your marriage?
yeah, all the time.
Um, at any point, did the Lord play a role in your marriage?
Yeah.
How?
I think he was the reason why I kept forgiving and I stayed. I used to pray about it all the time, and I also think that um, he's one of the reasons why we're not together now. And not necessarily that I prayed for him to take him out of my life, but I prayed for him to work on him and to make him a better person. And that if it came a point where he thought we was meant to be, he would bring us back together.
So who was the head of the household?
I feel like I was,
Mm-hmm.
but he feel like he was. So I think that's where we kind of like collided a lot because he wanted to be the head of the household, but he wasn't doing the stuff that needed to be done as far as being the head of the household.
Ephesians 5:23. For a husband is the head of the household, head of his wife, as Christ is the head of the church. So, what makes your marriage different from every other marriage?
I don't think it is. I think everybody just go through their same problem. I mean, you go through their different problems. If my marriage was different, it was different than anybody else's, I'd probably still be married. Well, we'd probably still be together, living in the same house, living in the same city. And I think I don't think it's no different than anybody else's.
Okay. What do you battle the most in your marriage and within yourself?
The fact that I feel like he wasn't ever there for me. And that I let it keep going on and on and on. And I kept forgiving, I kept forgetting, and I stayed for so long.
Do you believe you are married in the eyes of God or in the eyes of man?
Probably the eyes of man, because we didn't do. I mean, we went to counseling, but it wasn't no real counseling. It was a 1 day thing, and it was like a few hours where we talked to the pastor before he said he was gonna marry us. So I think the next time I get married, it's gonna have to be we're gonna have to have that counseling. We're gonna have to be in the church. I mean, I ain't saying he got to go to church all the time and every Sunday and Bible study and all that stuff, but it got to be at some point in time where he depended on the Lord and where we both depended on the Lord.
So, do you believe in divorce?
It's hard to say.
Why?
I never really thought about it. I just know me. I'm not giving up my last name. I'm not signing no divorce papers. I mean, I can't speak for nobody else. Like I said, I worked hard for my last name. I went through a lot for my last name. And I don't know if I should put this on camera, but if he come into some money, I want my cut.
So,
I mean, 23 years. I'm not gonna divorce you after 15 years and not reap none of the benefits that I didn't get when we was married.
so you feel eventually it's gonna come back together?
In the beginning, I hoped it would, and I think now that we've been apart for so long, I don't really care one way or the other.
So why not be open to divorce?
Because I don't want nobody else to get what's mine. I'm serious. This is serious. I'm not. I don't know.
Malachi 2:16. For I hate divorce, says the Lord, the God of Israel. To divorce your wife is to overwhelm her with cruelty. Do you agree? You think women are the most angriest out of divorce?
I think so. Um, Especially like in my situation, if he was to come to me and say he wanted a divorce, then no, I'm not gonna sign the divorce papers because I feel like I didn't put up with a lot. I didn't did a whole lot more than most people would, and I would be mad and I would be hurt because what made somebody else so different that you couldn't? We done been together all this time and you couldn't make it work with me.
Okay. Matthew 19:9. And I tell you this, whoever divorces his wife and marries someone else commits adultery, unless his wife has been unfaithful. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's not something I have to think about because I think we've both been unfaithful.
So, in the first part where he said whoever divorces his wife and marries someone else commits adultery, do you feel as though, um, once you've been married to that one person, you'll feel in some sense, that that's
betrayed,
still yours.
hurt, yeah.
That he went and married someone else.
Mhm. Yep.
All right. Last question. If you were not married, what do you think, or how do you think your life would be if you had never married your husband? Because it could go two ways. It could go, you guys just never got married, or you never met.
Well, if I never would have met him, I wouldn't have my daughter. And I think if I never would have married him, I don't think that was an option because I always wanted to get married. So that was like one of the things that we talked about. We gonna get married. I mean, it took us a while, but I'm getting married. I'm gonna have a ring on my finger. I'm gonna have your last name.
Do you feel like anything was ever forced, or it was kind of like this is a mutual unconditional love?
I ain't gonna say it was forced. I think he was just. I think he just wanted. He wanted what he wanted. He wanted a wife that was just gonna be at home, cook, clean, go to work and just be a homebody, and that was it. While he did whatever else he wanted to do, and I think that's just how he was raised. That the man is just gonna go out and do whatever it is he want to do, and the wife gonna sit at home and be okay with that. And in the beginning, I tried to be submissive and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna come home and clean up, take care of the house, take care of the family, and let him do his thing, and he gonna grow out of that phase. It was always an excuse, like, okay, well, when he joined the motorcycle club, it was okay, well, I gotta do so many years, all this stuff is mandatory, I go here is mandatory, if I gotta go here is mandatory, but once I become a lifer, I ain't gotta do all that stuff. Okay, so then you become a lifer, and you still doing all this stuff that you say that you don't have to do, but you make it seem like you have to do it. So he never changed. Like I thought he, well, I don't want to say change. He never grew. Like I thought he would. So.
All right. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't bad.